no veas, a Sevilla. Y al último que cuando ya salió la bien de regla.
It is Wednesday on Raid Shadow Legends, but you knew that. Now, first off, since I respect your time, if you just want to see the Eternal Soulstone pulls, then skip to this time frame here and watch from there. Otherwise, if you're in here for the entire thing, good. I like that. Okay, so the Hothead Deck of Fate event is live, where you can guarantee yourself the legendary collab Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles champion, Raphael. How good is Raphael, you're wondering, before you spend an absurd amount of otherwise highly expensive expendable materials on it? So go over to Barbarians. Yeah, he's a Barbarian, but not a Lizardman. That'd be kind of boring, actually. Then we have a bit of a look at him. He looks kind of mean. Not quite as cartoony as they've always been, but Raid is always trying to have them fit the game style, which they've done pretty well. They never really miss a trick on the collab champions. Even Ninja was implemented pretty well, all things considered. I know that might be a bit of a divisive opinion, but... Okay, so A1, Skewer. You can tell I don't rehearse this. Attacks me 2 times. Permadeath if they die. Each critical hit for the champion's turn meter by 10%, and this has a damage multiplier of 2.2x attack, so 4.4x attack in total, which is pretty decent, even though his attack stat is slightly on the low side given attack champions nowadays, well, attack legendaries. A2, Seismic Slam, and no, that's not a typo, it's Sai as in the weapon that he has, I might be Say, I'm not too sure. AoE, ignores block damage and shield if they're under a Berserk debuff. Yeah, the champion has a Berserk theme. Previously this was just on Odin's A1, but this is going to be something that's pretty core to Raphael's kit. And if they're not under a Berserk debuff, then it's just increased damage against shield. So it's either breaks them handily or just goes right through them. And each critical hit fills the hit meter by 10%. So on average, assuming no weak hits, you get 40% turn meter off this, which isn't terrible. And this has a damage multiplier of 4.3x attack, which again is kind of average, I want to say. We've had worse, we've had better. However, this has no defense shred as is, it just ignores these 2 sums of mitigation. But ignoring block damage is fine because of Namhei enjoyers, Siegfried enjoyers, Odin enjoyers. In fact, he's kind of an Odin counter in that way, because if Odin berserks him, which he shouldn't be doing because Odin's A1 should have just been weakened really, instead of, this gimmicky new debuff, because I have to keep adding debuffs to the game for some reason. I don't know why. Then he deals that pretty handily. And then A3, not today, knucklehead! I have no idea what Raphael sounds like. I haven't watched the TNMT in absolutely ages, so that's my attempt at it. If that's made you turn off a video, then, well, you wouldn't have even heard me say that, so, yep. Attacks enemy 3 times, ignores 20% of our defense, places Pertafil and Unkillable on him for 2 turns if he kills them. If they live, then he gets a Berserk debuff instead. It can't be resisted or blocked, obviously, like self-debuffs can't. However, it can be removed, which has been something that people have mentioned regarding anti-synergy with Donatello, where Donatello's A3 is a cleanse, so it cleanses off a Berserk debuff, and now Raphael's kind of not as good. They haven't acknowledged this, and I believe they said they were probably going to make it so that the Berserk debuff is protected. Not the exact words, but it's most likely. Another passive. First off, this part of it is the same for every single turtle. When one joins in, when one attacks, all the others will attack with their default skill in the order of which are in the team. So depending on when Raphael attacks, he may just join in with this and permadeath a target. And because it's a double hit, this can potentially kill an ace. And as we all know, Nace is a very weak champion that you don't see very much, so this is actually kind of useless. So yeah, ignore that I said that. And past that, whenever a champion dies, he gets Berserk debuff for 1 turn, so it can be from this, anything at all, and this has no cooldown, and then a 20% chance of an extra turn when attacking under Berserk debuff. And this stacks with Merciless or anything else that would otherwise give you extra turns in the first place. I think it's either a separate chance or they compound into one. I'm sure answers in the comments regarding this. Also, yeah, this has damage multiplier of 2x attack. I've got to say, I was a bit sidetracked. So you're probably thinking, Raphael sounds a bit like generic attack legendary that we have 20 of. And you'd be right. He doesn't fight into lockout well, and he has no self-defense that doesn't involve him hitting and killing someone first. So he is mostly just for this, or the Leonardo Turtle Unity, you know, Leonardo. So next we're going to go over to the Deck of Fate, which contains him once games stop trying to sell me things that I'm too poor to buy. So obviously there's a bunch of cards here. They're face down, we can't see what they are. Pick a card, any card don't show you. And how to win is either get artifact or accessories or summon souls from Soulstones. That's why I was mentioning those Eternal Soulstones before. And if we go over to this, then you can see that, let's check, is this correct? Yep. Then obviously it's a fragments, and then there's some other bits and pieces, including some pizza points for the April Neil Titan event, which I'm not doing. So go down. There is these boxes again, you can pin them, and there are 9 epic cards, so you can get a purple box 3 times if you control it, which can have any of these, but you well know that it's probably going to end up being lists, because that's at least use for 1. And then how to earn pizza slices, then it's all these. They have, once again, in true Plurium style, and because people were hyping up the turtles, yeah, that's your fault by the way, that this is now less points, and this is the same as it was for Frager Fateweaver, who is a bit better than this champion. Let's just say that. And also regarding mortals, it's 70 per. So, but we've got opening Eternals. So this is a part now where we start cracking things open. Now, assuming you are unlucky, you would need to open 11 Eternals plus a little bit more to get all 40 cards. So we've bought 10, and we're going to work from there. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to do a little bit of a informative section. So for each soul that I pull, I will give a very brief review on the champion, let you know sort of if they're good or not. You can work this sort of thing out by yourself otherwise, but we got to try and be useful somehow, right? As a wish list, who cares, right? Okay, so yeah, there's a 10x button now. Are you really impatient to spend like $300 worth of Eternal Soulstones right at once? Then yeah, hit this button. However, we're going to do it one at a time. Alright, let's get started then, shall we? Also, yeah, there is no boost on. It is just base rate regardless. So you see this 75 for a 5-star and this 6% for an epic. Expect to hit about a lot. Okay? Okay, so that's a reality check. Let's start clicking on some Eternal Soulstones then, shall we? After all, it's easier for you to watch this and be like, oh, he got 5-star epics, and this probably pissed you off now, isn't it? Okay, let's get started, shall we? Alright, so to begin is going to be, it is a legendary, and that is a 5-star for King Garog. King Garog was buffed pretty recently, however, he is still generic attack legendary in the Orcs faction. He is still not fantastic. Like, again, generic attack legendary like Raphael. Okay, 10 seconds is up, onto the next stone once I've stopped misclicking random things. Okay, next one is going to be, it is an epic, and that is a 5-star for Masamoto. Masamoto is, I want to say he's a defense champion for Shadowkin, but he doesn't do a great job of it. I would have a 6-star for him. He's good in that one stage 6 for Cursed City when it has like green defense most faction, but past that you're probably never going to use him. He's just got pretty weak turn meter buff in that way. What's happening? Okay, it's a mythical. Who is it going to be? 5-star for Star Sage Gallifear. Now, Gallifear is still one of the most essential mythicals in the game. Red Affinity is still the strongest overall. He's a support in both roles, which means he's actually completely worthless because, you know, support sucks. Okay, right. Next stone, shall we? What's it gonna be? Another mythical, and this one is a 5-star. Oh, Anomaly! Oh, I didn't have a soul for him at all! There we go! We got a 5-star for Anomaly now! Okay, that makes it all worth it. Okay, I don't care about the rest of them now. Okay, we have a 5-star for Anomaly. Okay, brilliant, okay. There we go, we're gonna get it eventually. It took me a second, then, okay, right, we're sorted. I was complaining for so long that my Anomaly was at 0-star, and picking him was miserable because his stones kept being taken away. But hey, now I've got a 5-star for him. Very good. Hey, and then there's you, hoping that I got nothing. That's to get through in a crab in a bucket. Yeah. Stay in a bucket, will you? Stay in a bucket. Okay, right. Okay, let's calm down a bit. Okay. Next stone. Why should it be a 6-star for Anomaly now? Okay, let's go. What's it going to be? Right, saying. It is another mythical. Who is it going to be? And that's a 6-star for Alaz the Sunbearer. Alaz, again, is another very strong Red Affinity mythical. He's great in Chimera because of the amount of trials that he does. And if you get him, I would not complain in the slightest. His alt form can use a bit of a buff outside of Chimera trials, but past that, he does hit very hard. So, yeah. I'd like to say so far that the chance of mythical is 10%, and we've hit it 3 times in 5 stones, which is phenomenal luck. Hey, content creator luck. Am I right? Okay, next stone, what's it going to be? Once the game works out what's happening here. This is going really well so far. Okay, 5-star for Padma. She's more for normal faction wars, really. She has decreased attack, decreased accuracy, a single target buff steal, good against, like, Paragon or something, but past that, I suppose some Cursed stages where you have to use limited voids, but yeah, she's not the most exciting epic in the world. Right, another epic. Ursane Ironhide. He does a whole lot of nothing. He's a great big bear. He looks cool because, you know, bears are cool, but yeah, this is what I'm probably going to just like throw back for some coins. Next stone. The game's had a bit of issues today. It's been like this since I played LA at like 3 o'clock. Another mythical. Who is it going to be? And that's a 6-star for Crixia. Another 6-star mythical. Crixia, again, is still very good. Buff strip on lockout. Otherwise, change form and cleanse. Reset your skills. And again, double support. So unfortunately, like Star Sage, she's useless. After all, you've seen my LA videos. I don't pick supports. I win most of my games. Clearly, it's a fact that supports, so we could not fight that. I'm just there aping with Carnage, Mariah, Snakes, Volcanoes. Yeah, walking passives, am I right? Alright, next stone. I have to say, I'm really happy with this so far. Is this going to be 5-star for Rockbreaker? He has a 3-turn AoE provoke that doesn't play as a hit, so I don't have to worry about affinity. So again, he's good for early faction wars, or even hard mode if you don't have Morley, who is otherwise just better than because she has to revive. But yeah, not terrible. And the last stone of the 10 is going to be another epic. And Faceless. Hades Boy's favourite champion, if he still played this game. I don't know, he's been pretty quiet lately. That or it just doesn't show him about his videos anymore. He's working on Faceless, or should I say Fateless. Anyway, he has a ignore defense in his kit, but he's so outdated nowadays that you're unlikely to use him. Okay, so that is 10 of those, and now, after that, we are... Yeah, I know, you're going to try and sell more Eternal Soulstones after I've used them all. Well, I've got a 5-star for Anomaly now. I do not care about Eternal Specialist points. Not very much. And let's go over to the Deck of Fate then, shall we? Right, I'm actually really happy about that. I didn't even remember that Anomaly was even in the pool. I thought I'd get like random epics and legendaries, but okay. So, as always... There is no order to this. People have said, the order you do this in is so strange. Yeah, random is random, like how I randomly got a 5-star soul for anomaly. Okay, right, so beginning with a green, and a purple. Okay, we're going to pin this. Normally I would try and see if I could get a full set of greens or a full set of blues first, but there's 9 epic cards here. I think we have to hit all of them, or we will try to hit all of them. Keep going from there, shall we? Another purple. Okay, that doesn't break our streaks, so pinned. Yeah, it's 3 for common, 5 for rare, 10 for legend, 10 for epic, and you have to hit all of them. I was saying, I don't really care too much about anything else here, so again, I could have gotten a blue box there, but you know, we are playing it safe. What we're going to get? A 6-star Mythical Souls. Sure, why not? I'm not going to complain about that. Blue. Okay, a green. Relic Fragments, sure, why not? Not going to complain. Green. Purple. Pinlet. Okay, keep going. Sure, have it your way. Okay, that's their second purple box. What's it going to be? Eternal Soulstones. Sure, better than nothing. I'll pin this. Okay, never mind. No blues for us. Pin that. Keep going. And okay. What do we get? A Mythical Skill Tome. Okay, let me check how many fragments I've gotten so far. 81. So I guess we need another. That's not correct. Pin that. I mean, at this point, I think we've got all of the purples, so we just need those. Okay, we are a bit short. Tell you what, let's open up Eternal Soulstones, shall we? Soul Merchant, Mystic Market even. Here you go. Not buying 2 of them, that's still a burden because they're 3,500 points each. Let's see what we get then, shall we? Whether it's going to be good or going to be bad, it is a 5-star for Deathless. Deathless is pretty much useless. I would not use her anywhere in the game. Okay, let's open some more cards. And blue. Red. And we're a bit short again. Okay, so need 1,500 more. So what I'm going to do, instead of doing anything like opening Immortals on base rate or just sitting there watching me run dungeons, I'll run a little bit of Spider and then I'll get the last few fragments for him because we are 8 off, so we know that these last 2 cards are a 5 and a 3, so yeah, we have to do the entire 40. Either way, I consider this a bonus for opening Eternals in a way, and I got probably my most wanted to say out of Eternals. Obviously, a 6-star would have been lovely, but I mean, a 5-star is also very, very good. But yeah, we got a 5-star anomaly, 2 6-stars for a couple of us that if we get them, we're going to be really happy about in the future, and also a 5-star Star Sage. Actually, let me check, was that my second one? Hold on. Oh, I had a 4-star and a 5-star. Okay, so the 5-star is very important for Gallifrey because he has stat conversion in terms of resistance to accuracy or resistance to durability. And then we obviously have our 6-star Alaz waiting for us, previously a 2-star. And then we didn't have a Critical Soul at all. So, yeah. Also, you see that Leonardo Soul there? Yeah, that saves me some sacreds later on when the Leonardo Deck of Fate, that's gonna... Hero's Path, that's going to happen at some point. If you haven't seen the video, I'd say watch it, but honestly, the only reason I even got to use it was because I put Plarium, TNMT, and Leonardo in the title. Search engine optimization, right? Anyway, so that has been a Soulstone session. I would say that was a fantastic success, and I will see you next time I'm talking about something. But until then, we're done, so see ya. No, really, I'm in a good mood now. Like, see, Raid's a bad game, but it's a bad game you can still enjoy at times. But let's be honest with ourselves here. Okay, yeah, right, okay, see ya.